Hello, in this video I'm gonna show you some basic defending tips for you in order to improve your defending game. So there are a few things that you can do in order to try to defend better, and let's get right into it. So the first thing that you may want to use is the jockey, which is under the left trigger or L2 depending on your controller. As you can see, there is a difference how my character walks. If I press and hold the left trigger or L2, my character is a little bit more focused, and by doing so we can try to approach the attacker with a little bit more precision. And in addition to that, you can combine it with the sprint button. However, you are less agile by doing so. This is really good for maneuvering, so if you don't want to be outmaneuvered by the attacker, then you definitely want to use the jockey in order to quickly move with your defender. And your defender will always try to face the opponent, so it is definitely better, because as you can see, if I am not using that and I'm trying to sprint, then my defender is not even looking, and it's definitely easier to be juked by just sprinting or just walking. Of course, it is still possible to, defend, etc. without the jockey. However, the jockey is definitely a tip for beginners who are trying to learn a little bit more about defending. Now, while using the jockey, it is also important to know that you can use the shooting button, so B or circle, in order to use your foot in order to attempt take the ball away. I will try to stay away from the attacker, but if I use my shooting button, then you will see that my defender tries to use their feet in order to take the ball away. Of course, it's not always successful. It's just an attempt. However, especially with the jockey, I think it is definitely worth trying. It is definitely one of the best things that you can do when trying to defend, especially if the character is not really that fast, and if they are slower a little bit. If they are not controlling their movement, then it is easy to take the ball with this combination, so especially the jockey and B or circle. In addition to that, you can also use the slide. So for instance, with the jockey, you can use the slide in order to also attempt to take the ball away. However, it is worth mentioning that this combination is not always working. This is definitely riskier too, because if you fail your slide and for instance go for the legs or something, you definitely lose a lot of time. It's all situational and perhaps you can get used to it. However, it is also easy to get fouled and give the free kick or even penalty for the opponent. Of course, you can slide without the jockey. It is also pretty reasonable to do so. However, of course, you always try to avoid hitting the opponent. Your goal with sliding is to hit the ball, not the opponent. So for instance, if you are trying to catch up the opponent and you try to slide, then you are risking a lot with a foul. Now remember to also switch players so that you are always closer to the opponent. You can switch players, for instance, by using the left bumper or L1 on your controller. And in addition to that, you can also use your right analog stick, so you can choose which player you want to switch to by using right analog stick. The left bumper or L1 is automatic or just closest to the opponent, while the right analog stick allows you to be a little bit more precise with who you want to switch to. So you definitely want to avoid sliding or tackling by sliding, simply because it is very situational and very dangerous. You are risking with a card, you are risking with a free kick for the opponent, and I assume you don't really want to get red card, which is definitely the worst thing that you can get after tackling like so. There's also a button that allows you to put the pressure with the second player, so you can use R1 or right bumper in order to use the second player press. However, you have limited time of use. As you can see, when I try to use the second player pressure, there is the green rectangle above the player's head, which indicates that the player will try to put the pressure on the opponent and try to take the ball. However, you do not always can take the ball. So for instance, you can use the second player pressure in order to quickly switch to the player and take the ball away. However, you of course have to be careful in order to not get juked, but essentially it is a pretty good way to get hold of the opponent and try to stay close to him. I forgot to mention about the jockey that you don't really have to do anything in order to get the ball. You can just stand in front of them, and if they happen to bump into you, there is a really high chance that you will actually get the ball. However, this is not really something that you want to do. You don't want to stand still because you will be outmaneuvered, probably, and you don't want to wait for the opponent to bump into you after all, but you want to make them make mistakes. So these are all basic tips regarding defending. I hope you will get better with defending, and I hope that this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next videos. Bye!